Okay, so you can use this to only look over the ones that you already checked and got wrong and didn't know what you were doing. Fast forward to that problem and check it. You can use this like you would for boards, where you go to a problem you want to try, do it, unpause it, and then watch me do it. Or you can check the entire paper with this if you want. I don't know if you'd want to do that, but you could. Okay, funny story on this one I have to share because it made me laugh so hard I was crying. The first time I attempted to do this on a video, I was recording. I accidentally hit record too soon, so I was recording me setting everything up, and then when I went to hit record, I actually stopped it without knowing it and did the entire worksheet. So then I had to do the worksheet again. This time I made sure it was recording when it was supposed to be recording, but what I didn't realize was I hadn't turned the camera around and it was recording the ceiling. So this is my third attempt. Here's my first one, here's my second one, and now here's my third one. So learning, live and learn. Sometimes technology can drive you crazy. Anyway, I'm ready now. Parallelogram, we have 12 times 10 for my base and height, so when I multiply that together I get 120. Your trapezoid, remember you have two bases, you have A and B, the top and the bottom. You have to times it by this height, oops, sorry, I meant to put 13 there, times it by a height of 13, divide everything by 2. Make sure if you're doing this all on the calculator that you put parentheses around the addition problem, or add that in your head and then times by 13 and divide by 2. You get 65 centimeters squared. The triangle, here's your base and height, so 9.4 times 5. You have to divide the triangle by 2. That's usually the most common mistake. If you find that your answers are twice as big as mine, you might have just forgotten to divide by 2, even if you wrote it. Sometimes people forget to type in the divide by 2. This triangle is 8.5 times 14 divided by 2. And that comes out to 59.5 kilometers squared. Make sure that you're always squaring your units when you have height. It's 2 dimensions, you know, because you're doing the kilometers times kilometers, that gives you kilometers to the second power. Then parallelogram, that's just 15 times 7, and that is 105 yards squared. Another trapezoid with 2 bases, 6 plus 9, put parentheses around them, times a height of 7 divided by 2, type the whole thing in, you got 52.5 meters squared. These ones look like weird shapes that you wouldn't know the areas of, but if you follow the lines, you just have those 3 shapes we just did just put together. So you'll find the areas of each individual shape and you'll just add them together to find the area of the entire shape. So this one here would have a base of 10 and a height of 3, so the triangle is 10 times 3 divided by 2, or 15. Base times height of the rectangle is the same as a parallelogram, so that would be 50. Add them up together and you get 65 centimeters squared. Here's my trapezoid. I have 8 plus 4 times a height right here of 2, all divided by 2. Now, because that 2's on the outside, those 2's can cancel out, so that'll just give you 12. Then I got 4 times 7 for the base and height of the triangle. Don't forget to divide that by 2, so that'll give you 14. Add that together, 26 feet squared. I know I'm rushing because it's my third time through. Sorry. 2 triangles that have base of 24, height of 8, all divided by 2. Well, these 2's can be canceled out too, and then you just have to multiply the 24 and 8. That gives you 192. The base and height of the rectangle, 4 times 8. Base and height's the same as saying length times width, which is probably what you learned for a rectangle back in 5th or 6th grade. Add the 192 and 192 together to get 384 yards squared. Not to confuse you, they just had states, then they drew the shapes that you know how to find the area of around them to see if you could do an estimated area. So it's not the actual area, it's just an estimate. So with the parallelogram, you just need the base and the height. So 225 and 310 comes out to 69,750. And these are kilometers squared. This one has two triangles. The big triangle has a base of 480, a height of 790. Divide it all by 2, that comes out to 189,600. This one has a base and height of 175 and 280, and again, the height and the base are interchangeable because it's multiplication. It doesn't matter which order you do those in. And that one comes out to 24,500. We add that and that together, and that comes out to 214,100 kilometers squared. A and B, so 490 plus 850. Now be careful when you type that in, you would want to make sure that you put the parentheses around that, or add it and hit equal, times 200 divided by 2, you get 134,000 kilometers squared. These three here, you're going to use your formulas. Here's your triangle formula. Here's your trapezoid formula. And here's your parallelogram formula. You're going to plug in what they give you into it for whatever letter, and then you're going to solve for whatever letter is missing, and you're going to just use algebra for that. So a little bit of equation practice. So this area is 220. That means that I put in 220 for A. What's the height if the base is 20? So here's the base, the height is H. You'll have a one-step equation. When you divide both sides by 20, you'll get 22 meters for the height. This one here, it says the area is 27.5. It says the two bases are 7 and 4. I don't know the height. I'm going to divide it all by 2. This part here can be simplified. 11 divided by 2 is 5.5. You'll divide both sides by 5.5, right? And you'll end up with 5 centimeters for the height. This parallelogram has an area of 189. It has a height of 10.5, and this time you're finding the base. It doesn't matter that the base is first there and second there. It's interchangeable. It's multiplication. So then I'll divide both sides by 10.5, and I will get 18 feet for my base.